Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all feeling well on this Friday morning. To my left, we have got, my right, what your left it is, Rad. So, good morning.
Morning. How you doing?
I'm good. Hope you are well.
Yeah. Very excited for the new season to come back. All the new signings are making and all that. So yeah, it's good.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. I mean, we made our seventh one this morning in Rain Hennessy, which came out the blue, to be fair. Well, it hasn't came out the blue, but it has because Fabrizio not really done this here we go tweet. But how are you feeling about the signings at the minute?
Yeah, all very exciting, encouraging. You know, it's Premier League money, isn't it? And it's just such a joy to see us not signing deadwood players like we did a few years ago. Like under the COVID year, we signed about 14 players. Most of them were rubbish, besides McKenna and Caffrey's still kicking around, of course. And ultimately, we do need to sign quite a lot of players to have a competent squad. But the big difference is all these players are really good and really exciting, or have been there and done it before, and competed at a top level. And yeah, I mean, we're always going to have to change the squad. You know, we had 5 loanees. Still hoping we can get at least one of them back. I think the only chance we've got is probably Keenan Davis. And I think we're all still crossing our fingers about Jimmy Garner, but we'll wait and see about that one. And obviously, you know, the lots of Grabban, Figueiredo and Horvath. And then the big shock for me was Samba leaving. Didn't expect it at all. So it's a lot of change, but it was needed, really. It had to happen. I think regardless of what league we're in, we're going to have to make changes. I'm really excited about all of them, to be honest. You know, looking at Bianca, I think he looks really composed in the 2 friendlies we've had so far. I'm obviously not seeing much of him when you add it all up, but he does look pretty good. Obviously, I'm really excited about Nico Williams. I think you couldn't have asked for a better replacement. You know, like it's sad to lose Spence. As of this morning, looks like he's going to go to Spurs finally. But you know, honestly, you couldn't ask for a better replacement, in my opinion. He's arguably more useful because he's played with Brennan before. He can play on both sides. So yeah, it's going to be one hell of a replacement. And he's our player as well, which is the really exciting part about it. Obviously, you know, our 1 year, it looks like a real handful up front. We still need to sort out the midfield, of course. We're going to do that. Nick Cartier looks pretty solid. You know, we're going to see these players more as time goes on. Richards looks like a decent signing as well. Yeah, and obviously Hennessy and Henderson in goal now is 2 really solid goalkeepers. So yeah, really exciting times, and we're going to probably get a few more as well. I think we have to, really.
I mean, Cooper said it after the Burton game on Tuesday, saying that he knew that we have to rebuild somewhere, and even actually said the signings are looking quality at the minute. I mean, from what we're seeing, I mean, I know we'll probably seen one of them anyway, but the signings are looking really brilliant at the minute. I mean, and they seem to be doing it the right way, like we build them from the back instead of doing, we're going to get 2 defenders, 4 attackers, and 1 midfielder. We're actually doing it from back to front. So,
yes, it's smart. You know, like obviously we knew we had to sort out, particularly the defence in terms of the wing backs and replacing Figueiredo. Really, obviously didn't play that much. Really, it was more Cook in the second half of the season. Figs was on the bench, but we had to get another centre back. Obviously, Nick Carte's, probably going to have to replace Cook in the team, which is an unbelievable player to have to put on the bench, and will offer vital experience whether he plays or not. So yeah, really excited to see how they all get on. To be honest, I think we have lots of options now, particularly on the right hand side of defence. I think we might still get another left wing back, whether that's Harry Toffolo or not. I think we can do without one, but it wouldn't go amiss, I suppose. It would just rub it into Huddersfield fans as well if we got in Toffolo, if we did that. So I wouldn't complain. Set off some fireworks, I think, in celebration. That'll be pretty funny. But yeah, I mean, we need to sort out the midfield. Obviously, it's looking quite weak at the moment. We obviously all of Yatesy and Colback, I think, still has a lot left to give in this team for at least another year or two. He's an older head in the team, but you need that. And ultimately, after those two, it is pretty weak. Cafu and Hayder are great in their own ways, but they're not really Premier League quality, or not ready, maybe in Hayder's case. And I don't see Cafu really getting any better than he already is. So this is why, if we just replace James Garner or even get Garner, and then arguably have to get someone else as well, just for a bit of, confidence when it comes to that area of the pitch. I think we will look really strong there. And arguably, get a Garner replacement and then get an attacking midfielder, that would be enough. But this is the thing, it's not like we've just lost 5 loanees, a few players have left, as that always happens. Because we're now in the higher division for the first time in 23 years, you've got to realise that even some players that aren't out of contract or haven't left probably aren't good enough. So you're thinking, well, should we upgrade those as well? So it gets quite hectic, and you suddenly end up signing about 10, 11 players. But it's better than having a lack of quality, really. So I do think it's needed, and like you say, it's really exciting to see all these players link with us and coming in now.
Definitely. Welcome to the Members Club, Nick. So that second person in. So welcome to it. But yeah, I mean, I've been saying it for quite a few weeks, especially about that midfield. Especially now we've got Richardson and potentially getting Toffolo in. And I've been questioning it, like, if we get Richardson, would we get 1 or 2, maybe even 3 centre midfielders in, and probably use Colback as the spare left wing back, even though we prefer Colback in that centre midfield anyway, or get the 2 and let Ojeda go out and loan, then use Colback as that spare left wing back anyway, or even get Toffolo in, then you're probably looking at 1 or 2 maybe centre midfielders.
It is the weak link really in midfield now. I think last season we could survive with having. We were thankful that none of them got injured really. Like Yates carried on with that little shoulder niggle that he had, and obviously Colback was available the whole season. Besides that suspension he had briefly, Garner obviously was available all season, and then Cafu and Hayder hardly played, particularly Hayder. In the Championship, you can put up with that, but in the Premier League, you need quality all over the pitch. You need like 2 sets of teams more than ever, especially when you're coming into it. I think to be able to immediately hit the ground running, because we kind of have to. Right? We've got to. We could have a harder start. We could have a load of top 6 sides in one go, but it's never going to be an easy start. Even if we had Bournemouth and Fulham straight away, it would have been pleasing, but it's still not easy games. Last season they were the hardest games for us, and that's the easiest. So, that's the jump up we've earned, and we've got to be able to compete at it now. And Newcastle's going to be a really tough start, because I think it's going to be an amazing match, because they're on a high with the prospects of what they could do going forward, Newcastle, and obviously we're on a massive high as well, being promoted. So it's all looking pretty exciting, to be honest. And like you say about the midfield and left wing back, I really like Toffolo, but I do think we could survive if we didn't get him, because we've got Richards, obviously, Colback. If we do sort of in midfield, getting 1 or 2 players, it would allow us to move him out onto the left if we have to. Only ideally we won't need to do that much, and maybe he isn't as fitting to do that in the Prem, whereas he was in the Championship. But maybe that's a bit harsh. And ultimately, if we keep around Nicholas Ioane, that's another option as well. I think people are forgetting about him. Like, I don't know whether he's good enough or not. He's still not played enough for the Forest to really give the fans a fair assumption of him. But yeah, I don't know. He's an option at the very least.
Definitely. Omar saying morning, Dan and Mads. Nick, I said that we have got a quality-led transfer team with Cooper, Murphy, and all the rest of them. I mean, do you feel like that we are sort of reap the benefits from the transfer team now, as we are seeing with these guys that when, like you said earlier, we're not buying overpaid, overaged players; that we are buying really quality now.
Oh, the transfer has been on point since Cooper's been in. It's just phenomenal. Like none of them have really failed. Like I suppose Richie Laryea has because he's not played that much, but it's a bit that's a bit harsh. He's not looked bad when he has played. January, we signed Panzer, who is a young guy who's going out on loan. He's got potential. He does look very good in my opinion, but he needs game time. And ultimately, obviously Cookie and Davis were amazing signings, and I'm hoping we can keep Davis as well, which it looks like we might, just for a bit of familiarity, really, and also because he's not going to get a future at Villa, is he? He may as well stay where he's loved and where he loves it at Forest, but he probably isn't going to have quite the same role with Wani in the team now, and obviously Surridge is still here. But it'll still be a useful asset, and ultimately you do get a bigger set of substitutions in the Premier League. So it's not like he's just going to be in the reserves. I think it'd be a useful option to have around Keenan. But yeah, I mean, obviously, going into the Premier League has helped us out a lot, but doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to sign quality. Like look at some Premier League teams that come up. Norwich, for instance, whenever they go up, they never really do what we're doing. Like they don't really spend that much. When you add it all up, they spent about 60 million last year, but it still wasn't the right set of players. And ultimately, they were still comfortably relegated all but straight away. Whereas Forest, where we are fixing the problems that we knew we were going to have, like replacing the loanees, for instance. And I think the Samba situation really tells us why our recruitment team's so good. Like, I don't think anyone really expected us to lose him, but we just thought, okay, let's move on, get someone else. And we've got someone even better, arguably, in Dean Henderson. So I think it's a really, really welcoming feeling to have. Like, you lose Jed Spence and Bruce Samba, you're going to be sad about that. But ultimately, we've replaced them with two fantastic players in Nico Williams and Dean Henderson. So you're not worried about the fact that they're not there. And yeah, recruitment's been amazing.
Yeah, definitely agree. That one. I think defence completely need to focus more front midfield attack and squad depth. Definitely.
Yep.
Tougher 2-3 million is a class backup signing better than low. We need Kovac to sit in the midfield and not to have him worry about left back, which completely agree. Nick said Huddersfield fans now sliding off O'Brien Toffolo because of the impending departure.
Aren't you?
Yeah, Max sending fireworks, like you said earlier.
It would only be right. It would only be right.
George Sinuas, head of data and analytics, gave an interview to a German paper on how and why Forest are doing the business. I'm not really seen it. I don't know if you've seen it or not.
No, I haven't, to be honest. But I think he's another guy that goes under the radar. We talk about obviously Cooper and then particularly Murphy, and Marinakis is still, I think, really plays a big part in running the club and the transfers. I think he's been really good with his communication as well to the fans. It's been excellent. But I do think that George guy that we got last year from Stuttgart, I think he's come from Germany, which, when you think about it, probably explains why we signed 3 players from the Bundesliga. We signed I 1 year. I'm still trying to say that correctly. Nick Carte and obviously Richards. So he's probably looking to one of his former leagues that he's been a part of. It makes sense when you think about it.
Yeah. Obviously, touched up on about Samba. I wanted to get your thoughts on Samba and Graben anyway, because the Samba one became more out the blue than the Graben one, because I think the Graben one we've been half expecting it, but the Samba one, we don't know if it's contract, we don't know if it's the link with Nick Pope. We're we're not sure always like Ian saying that could be a disagreement. And then, what's your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, it's really really strange. Like I thought Sam Believer would be one of the last players to leave, quite frankly. Like, you know, with how buzzing he was at Wembley, like we all were, you know, and just the fact that he instrumentally got us through that Sheffield United game, which I will never ever not be able to thank him for. Because of, you know, he literally, when we were being tested, we still managed to win, and his three unbelievable saves, you know, saved us. If I had a penalty shootout, honestly, I'd pick him probably ahead of most goalkeepers, just because of his mind games and just how good of a goalkeeper he is. And Lens have got one hell of a keeper on the hands now. I think it's a bit of a downgrade for him. I think he's better than that, quite frankly. But yeah, I would have thought he would have wanted to stay and play in the Prem. I don't know the ins and outs, obviously. I have a feeling it was down to his family as well. Maybe, you know, they wanted to go back home to France. If it is, that makes perfect sense. But from a career point of view as a footballer, it was a really strange move. And like we say, you know, we've got an excellent replacement. So it's like Jed as well. We're really sad to see them go, but we're also really excited with who's replaced them. So we're not worried about the fact that they're not there anymore. We've got two excellent replacements. You know, I'm really excited about Nico and Hendo in goal. So yeah, it's going to be really good. That, and you know, you mentioned grabbing it. That was definitely more expected. Yeah, I think we all had a feeling that he would leave. I think if we won the Championship, he would have stayed, to be honest. But Premier League, yeah, I do get why he left. Maybe for a bit of know-how and squad depth, it would have been useful to keep him around. I think he would have played a part, to be honest. But ultimately, him leaving does mean we probably ought to get another striker. And I think that screams for Keenan Davis to come back. And you know, we've seen reports that it's going to be him, which would be perfect in my opinion. You know, two big battering rams up front will be excellent for us. You know, Grabs has been a modern day legend of Forest, I'd say. You know, he's scored so many amazing goals, important goals. He's had his moments where he wasn't the best. He missed a few too many sitters. Even last season. Oh yeah, he missed. He went for a period where he missed penalties. Remember, I never forget Birmingham away in 2020. He missed a penalty and immediately went and scored Birmingham. So yeah, he's an excellent servant for Forest. Definitely will go down in history, but sad to see him go. But you know, we have to build for the future, really.
Definitely. Nick, I put on about 81.
I've seen Nick do that a few times.
Yeah. I think you're gonna have that create against you now, like have quality.
Yeah, it is quality. Yeah. It is.
Massey, can we get a prediction on how many points we'll get in the first 5 games?
Well, I think Newcastle, I have a feeling it'll be difficult to go and win there. A draw, I'll take it. I really would against Newcastle. I think we'll beat West Ham, to be honest. Like the buzz of that first Premier League game. West Ham are a great side. I do rate David Moyes, what he's done at West Ham. They've got an amazing team. You know, Declan Rice is one of my favourite players that doesn't play for Forest. Obviously, he's not as good as Ryan Yates, of course, but you know. So yeah, they've got some great players, but they're inconsistent, which is what lets them down. So I think that means that we can easily beat them on our day. We can beat anyone, in my opinion. So I think that is doable for sure. Everton are not good. You know, we should really be. If we lose to Everton, I'd be really disappointed, to be honest, because I think we should be at least getting a point away at Everton. And obviously, Spurs and Man City is a completely different kind of challenge. I think Spurs are looking incredibly strong this season, so that's going to be very difficult. Again, honestly, I think the home atmosphere is going to be so important to us. Like, it could get us over the line so many times next season or this season. Like, honestly, we will win a few away games, but I do think at home will be where things are decided more than ever. Like, you know, we're going to really rally behind the team, I'm sure of it. So maybe, you know, I could easily see us beating one of the top 6 sides at least once or twice, maybe at home, not so much away. And obviously, Man City, you know, I think we've probably all got to admit that's going to be a defeat probably because it's Man City. But ultimately, yeah, we should just embrace it and be excited about the fact that we're on the same level as these guys or in the same league. You know, it's just going to be a surreal season, to be honest, and hopefully we get more of it going forward.
Definitely. Nick said about one people, Samba giving him bad advice. Fair enough. And Emma Grabs for coaching. Which I get. I probably think Forest probably would have offered Grabs lesser contract as well and told him that he won't be first choice that much now. He probably would be more of a swap.
Yeah.
Which I
Probably
get.
why, like, you know, I think he wouldn't have minded to stay at Forest, but he probably realised, well, I'm not going to get much game time, and I'm 34. I want to see out the rest of my career playing, so be interesting to see where he goes. I think Championship is still a good level for him.
Yeah. Do you know who is Forest all-time leading goal scoring? I think it Collymore into it, or I can't remember.
Not sure, to be honest.
Not sure. If anyone knows, do let us know in the chat. The Star Blue Flu saying, I mean, this will always better, but if we get 3 points out first 5, that's massive. If it,
I mean,
chat.
I suppose, yeah, we'll take it, I guess.
Can't wait for the season to start. Core. Nick is saying he's bid. If fast, he will beat the defensive backs.
I'm really excited to see these new chants we're going to come up with for the new players.
I am as well, to be fair. Well, I mean, with Garner, so I mean, we spoke about Garner. I think, I don't know, I just got a assumption at the minute about Garner that this one might go straight to the viral, I think, more than out, because I think that with Man United cases at the minute with Sandy on and Ericsson and all this and all that, them two might drag along, so
yeah, I think there's a very good chance of that. Yeah, I think I always believed we had a chance of keeping him. Again, I thought we were going to get him on loan for a third time, but that's not an option anymore because of Dino. So the only option is we buy him, which is what we all want. We want to keep him. We don't want to keep learning him. He's clearly got something at Forest. His family have said how much that they love him playing for Forest and how much they like Forest and how much he does. So it's not like he doesn't know the club at all. He knows it very well now. He would have definitely formed a strong relationship with us and the fans. You know, it would be a great move for him. And I know he's a Man United fan. He'd want to play for his boy club, but I think you've got to be realistic. Man United will not give him a chance, and it's harsh because I don't think United are in a terrible state. If he can't get into that team, then it's disappointing. Honestly, I think from a neutral point of view, you should give him a go, but I just don't think they will. And if they're going to get Dion, which is a great signing, obviously, he's going to start 100%. And the midfield's not even that good, and I just think he's probably not going to get a chance. Which is no disrespect to Ghana, it's just the way top 6 clubs work. They just think, right, we'll go out and sign someone that's at the level, not can get to that level, which is harsh, really. And I do think now in the Prem, I think lots of people have been saying Ghana, the first year is with us, Championship, maybe another year in the Championship, then after that Premier League. The club he was with is now in the Premier League. It would make sense to me. But I do agree. He's on tour with Man United. He's not even played yet because he wasn't in that Liverpool match that they had. I think they're going to want to play him a few times in pre-season to see how he goes, and then they'll make a final decision. But I'll be surprised if he's playing regular for Man U at the start of the year. And I think that really will open us the door to say, let's go and get him back, and it will be amazing if we could do that. Yet another massive sign of our intention of what we want to do. Not just be in the Prem for a year, just stay there and work from that and just see how far we can go. And yeah, I'd absolutely love it if Garner came back. I think we will get Keenan back. Garner's obviously going to be a lot harder, but we'll wait and see about that one. Just cross fingers, really. He does return.
I'll just try and see if Garner's in the Man United squad today, but don't look like he is.
Are they playing today?
Yeah, they're playing Melbourne.
All right. Okay.
They've got an early kickoff, and just going through the Man United squad, it don't look like he's in the squad.
Yeah, I think he had like a minor injury or something, but it's got to be frustrating for him and Man United that they can't give him a go. Like, this is a precious opportunity for him to prove himself. Even though United are rubbish, it's still Man United. So, but let's get him back, please. Bring him home.
Bring him home, yeah. Brian Wall with 24 goals. Fair enough.
Nice.
And Reader said, "You Reds." And Ian said, "Gone. I think Cooper tried buying his times they're done." Omar said, "Ronnie and Davis up top will take defensive out with the strength and power. Let John and whoever else we get on the win and do the work."
Not forgetting Surridge either.
Surridge, yeah.
I think Surridge is going to be a lot better than people think. Because he's not playing the Premier League before. I think he's an excellent forward. At the very least, at Championship level. But I think he'll give players room for the money in the Premier League.
Definitely. I mean, the pre-season at the minute. I mean, I know we're in 2 games, got Barnsley tomorrow. I mean, I know we don't really. I know it's nice to win in pre-season and get the fitness levels up and get performances levels up. I mean, how did you think the first 2 games went? And
well, I mean, Coventry was you can't judge that because we played a relatively strong team in the first half. Second half, even since last week, 2 of those have gone out on loan. In Back and Panzo. So, Cooper said that a lot of those players won't be here. So we can't read into that. Like, I saw that at half time and thought we're going to probably lose this because about weak the team was. Cov were playing quite a strong side. So, it wasn't really a shock to me. But we did go stronger. Obviously, we brought on a load of younger players for the final 20. But Burton are nowhere near the level of Coventry. We probably should have won by more than 1. But we won, and it was a great header from Cookie. Really good header. I don't know why it wasn't streamed like Coventry, but it just wasn't. But yeah, I think we mentioned Panzo going to Cov. Actually, I think that's a great move for him. And Back going to Carlisle, it's just the right level for him. I think he'll do well there. Obviously, we've got Barnsley, then Hertha Berlin back at Burton. Union Berlin in Germany and Notts and Valencia. Hopefully going to go to those 2 last games, which would be good. So, got a nice mixed bag there with a few lower league teams in England and then 2 German sides, a Spanish side and little old Notts County. I do like the mixed bag. I think it's weird. We played 2 games at Meadow Lane. One's against the 5th tier English side and one's against the Liga team. It's quite a huge difference in opponent, but yeah, I like that about pre-season, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, with Panzer on that, I know I heard the Sharp 3 saying great 3-1 win. I even messaged you about it as well to say it was a good win for you guys. I know you guys were linked with him as well. I think it'd be good for you. I think you just need that within back. You just need that run of games now. I think for him to go out into a Championship club will do him good. I think he's at that level where he can make that step up now.
Yeah, he's an excellent young player, definitely. when he played that game against Hull, I thought he looked really good. So, yeah, he deserves regular game time without a doubt.
Yeah, even if, like you said, from back then, Kyle, I think it's shown that he can step up when he did play for us last season. But I think for him to go out and learn and get that game time now, that
definitely,
obviously, Nick is saying saying that Suicide no time now return. But even when Sus was injured last season, he was them goals he was scoring, it was just unbelievable. So, if we done that whilst we were injured, what we're going to get next season?
I thought it was yet another just genius signing. Like, we all thought what we signed this guy for was good, like 3 goals for Stoke. Didn't do anything at Bournemouth. But yet again, like, I don't worry about who we sign. Like, we look at Wayne Hennessy, we're thinking, well, is he going to be able to cut it for us? If Cooper thinks he can, then I think he can.
Yeah.
And we didn't think Davidson Sturridge would be anything at all. Like, Graben was our main striker for the first half of the season. We had Lyle Taylor, who weren't good enough, and he's probably going to leave. I like Lyle as a guy, but he's just not going to cut it in the top flight. So yeah, we went out and changed that attack. Didn't really think either of them would do anything, and they were both amazing, which is amazing. Where Sturridge had to step up, he got that hat against Swansea. That second goal he got was sublime. That finish, and 1-on-1, he's one of the best in the Championship, and I still think he's got that quality in the Prem. To be honest, like that goal he got against West Brom and Huddersfield in the Cup, it was under pressure 1-on-1. He coolly mugged off the goalkeeper. I just thought it was really, really, really impressive.
Yeah. Oh, it was. The goals were unreal. Patterson must have impressed Coventry. The Sky Blue Phil saying he'll play week in, week out for us again. Yeah, that's great, mate. Tell us what you think. We'd love to hear how we're getting on. Definitely. Big up to EVT, who got abuse on social. I mean, absolutely awful, I think, personally, and to get abuse on social media. It's not nice. So, big up the support to Evie, and that we are behind you. It's never nice. So,
the downside, isn't it, of social media?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, unfortunately, it's horrible. So, big up the support for you. Omar saying next season we are buying the league.
Looks like it, doesn't it? So spend like 60 million now.
Yeah. And that, I'm not even bought a full squad at the minute. So.
No, and we're still going to make more because we have to, really. Like we say, the squad players arguably aren't really good enough. Like Cathro Hayden, I don't think mine is quite at the level just yet. And yeah, we do need probably 3 more or something like that. I don't like it when any team signs about 12 players, but it's needed. It's not like we're signing bad players. So, and we're not doing a Fulham like some people might think we are, like they did a few years ago, where they're spending like 40 million on one player. We've been really smart with it. Like we signed 2 players for 17 million, pretty much. 1 for, 2 for about 10 million, so it's really smart. 1 on loan, 1 for free with Hennessy, and yeah, some really good players in there now.
And that's the main thing as well, because we're building a squad and we are going for it to be in the Premier League. And even if the unfortunate happen, we will have a really good squad to go for it next season in the Premier League as well. So it's really, really good, and we won't have to overbuy, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely. I think we're putting together a really strong squad. We're purposely going out our way to buy exciting players that, are really encouraging and useful. I think Williams is an excellent sign, like I say, and I'm gonna find Nick's comment. Awoniyi. That's how you say it. I think that's an exciting signing as well. So yeah, still looking encouraging.
Yeah, Shard Leafy put a good comment out saying, does it worry that the players being brought in aren't established PL players who signs not exactly played all games? I'm not overly worried to it.
No,
Super
I'm not.
Duper is.
I'm not either, to be honest. I mean, you do look at the team, and you see the likes that who's played in the Premier League before, like obviously Cook, Colback, Xander Silva technically, but you can't really count him. Lolly's briefly played in it before, when obviously Hennessy and Williams have. So there's a handful of players there that have played in the top flight, and they're not at all bad players. Obviously, a lot of them haven't, but a lot of them can. McKenna, for instance, I think Yates can. Well, we've got obviously Johnson. So I like how we are signing him off of the Wales team. We've got Williams, Johnson in there now, obviously, and got Hennessy. It's got to be good from Johnson's point of view, really. To see two of his international guys come in. Makes it a bit easier for him.
Yeah. Hennessy is going to be great for John, as you just saying. And I said it earlier about a video of what I've done about Hennessy. Like, it would bring that Premier League experience as well, because it seems to be around for years. Like, playing for not so much Palace because they've been established for quite a few years now, but it will bring that Premier League experience that not many has got.
He's 35, he's played a lot of games. He's had his critics down the years, but I think he's a solid goalkeeper, especially as a backup. I didn't expect us to get two new goalkeepers. I really didn't, but we haven't got two bad ones ever. So it's really good. It's really good to see that.
Like League One Derby, I had 10 players, but yeah.
They're all about pension age, aren't they? They're all about 30. So
they'll be getting the pension on Thursday.
They will actually.
Yeah. Aaron saying agreed, need more players in currencies paying more than 20 million on a single place, and no MGW exciting attacking players needed, but without being held to ransom.
I think Gibbs White's going to be very tough, to be honest. It'd be unbelievable if we pulled that off, but 30 million is too much in my opinion.
Yeah.
We've already spent 60 million. We've got to be careful with how much we do spend and what we spend it on. And ultimately Gibbs White is amazing, but that was in the Championship for Sheffield United. He's not proven himself in the Premier League, and signing him for 30 million is, in my opinion, a bit of a gamble. It'd be an amazing signing, but signing him for 30 million is a lot. I think 15, 18 million, I probably wouldn't go ahead of that, to be honest.
I said that about Davis when they first said about 15 million for him. I was like, I wouldn't pay 15 million for him because he's not really proving in the Premier League. But now he's wanting to come. Would that sort of price tag drop to like 7-8 million for him?
Yeah, we're certainly not going to sign him for like 15 million. Like, we're going to get him for like 4 or 5 million. Like, he's good as that fourth choice striker, and that might sound bad, but he's proven himself at Forest. We know what he's all about. We may as well bring him in to us, where he will, at the very least, get treated better and play more. I think 50 million was not true. I don't think they ever wanted that much.
Who would you prefer, Spence or Trafford in there?
Spence.
Yeah.
Like, Tavernier is amazing. He scores a lot of goals for a right back, and he goes into the radar because he plays in Scotland. But I've got to go with Jed.
Yeah, Omar is saying about if they are good enough for top flight in Germany, France, England, you worth a shot. If it works out, it's win-win. It's not, they come back to Anglia. Nick to say quality over quantity. The signings have been researched for the ability to do the job, which
Absolutely.
absolutely. Martin wouldn't pay more than 6-7 million for Davis, which is fair shot. Nick is saying, I've said this elsewhere. If Everton are so desperate to pay 30 million, they would have lost. They would have lost in the hands, which I completely agree. Yeah, I do agree on that one. So, but yeah, thank you for the lads for coming on.
Yeah, no problem. Looking forward to the season.
Yeah, definitely do it. Lads on his YouTube channel.
Yeah.
On his socials. Usual. But yeah, thank you for everyone tuning in and getting involved in the conversation, and for Nick for becoming the new part of the members club. So, I'd like to thank you for watching, and goodbye.